You said that the Liberian associate themselves, when those people then have their kids and when they pass away and stuff like that. I just want to let's go back to that because one of the little boys that was killed, that was my nephew, and you guys never showed up. Not only that, those two kids who were unfortunately dead, they were shot and killed. Not only that, the Liberian Association never even helped their parents them to get justice for them. So my question to you, what are you going to do different now? Because there's so many kids who are out there, who their parents are having trouble with them. What are you guys going to do different now that you want us to go through?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good question.
Thank you.
Thank you, William. Folks, I think this is a sensitive question. And so let's address this question. Winnie, first of all, let me start off by reiterating what we said when we heard the news. We showed up at the house. Since you made it about me, I showed up at the house. I did. During the burial, I was on the Liberian Association with the EULA out of state. However, we sent out our vice president. And yes, you are right. The Liberian Association might not have taken over the case. And the reason for that is when these things happen, especially when there is gun shooting at people, let me tell you the Liberian way. Investigation when they are going on, and I'm part to the ball, and I'm man to the ball. They will tell you, say they can release information. They are going through the investigation. That's one. The second part about this also is this. When you go to meet the family, and you ask them, what can we do to help? And they don't tell you what to do to help. What can you do? What can you do? What can you do? If you are willing to help, if they tell you, this is where we want to go, because I spoke to the boss father, I went there, I spoke to the boss mother. Again, some of these things are people private issue. I'm careful about what I say about people private issue, because it's very, very important, and these things are sensitive. If we're not careful, we can hurt people in the process. But all we want to say is this. We are sorry if in any way, shape, or form, we did not meet your expectations. We are sorry. And we'll own up to it.
Thank you, Mr. Boley. Mr. Conan?
And on behalf of the community, we also want to apologize. I just really believe that we need to find a way to really address, these issues. We don't have it. Steve doesn't have it. He didn't establish anything to address these concerns. That's the truth, right? I learned that during the Lester Myers administration, they partnered with some law firm, the Ray McDonald law firm. I think we need something like that. We need to reestablish it. So we have this legal practice available that we can always reach to. So situation like that, we go to the parents and say, do you have legal representation? Sometimes if you don't have that, it's really difficult to address these things. Then we take them to that legal practice that we have, that we're working with, so that they can be able to help provide direction, And also, sometimes to get real justice, we need contact. You need people, in the local authority, whether it's in the legislature, in the Senate, that you can reach out to and say, our community has a problem. So let's reestablish that connection, maintain that connection with these people, so that we can always just call them. But to do that, you need a structure to handle that. You need some kind of, I think you have the committee, the outreach and membership committee. That's part of the responsibility. So let's have that structure, to have that responsibility, and let's empower that committee to go out there and establish these extended relationships. I think that's the way we can really begin to start to do something about these concerns.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. And when we spoke about that issue earlier, we said we're very sensitive. Okay, and it was an opportunity for you both to speak to the Liberian people directly. And I don't think it was a time to even attack each other. It was a time to tell Liberian people, this is what I'm going to do to make sure that this don't happen again. Or we can reduce the chance of it happening. But I think you lost opportunity in that way. So I want to ask again, Because this is personal and this is serious to our community. It's not time to play politics and to accuse one another. It's time to take responsibility as leader or incoming leader that I can do this different. Okay? In order to help this situation, we have to provide alternative behaviors. If you say this person don't do this, what are the alternative behavior you're giving them not to do what they are doing? So can you tell the Liberian people clearly what plan, exactly just one plan that you're going to put in place, not to stop the situation completely, but to reduce the frequency for what has happened in the last year? That's it. 1 minute, please.
Well, thank you so much. Again, this is a sensitive conversation. This is a sensitive topic. And we will always empathize and sympathize with the family. What we have put in place, or what we have decided going forward to do, is to ensure that when these things happen, we coordinate with the family to determine where they are. Because some families have personal lawyers. Some families are pursuing the case differently, right? Some families do not have any means of securing lawyer or whatever it is. And we work with a law firm. Like I said earlier, there is a girl, our brother also, I was talking about the case, I'm not going to call names. Her brother was in the police custody and something happened. We called a lawyer with her, we went there, and the lawyer told her straight off. The lawyer said, this case, we can't take it on. You see? So these are things that we are doing. And these are things we did. And we intend to expand as far as going now. We decided that we're going to have workshops.
Thank you.
We're going to ensure also that we get the local authority, the police involved.
Thank you, sir.
To make sure they work with our community.
Thank you. Mr. Konya? 1 minute.
I'll go ahead and repeat what I said. I'm not sure why the moderator did not get that. I talk about using existing institutions we have, the outreach and membership committee. That is their constitutional responsibility for issues like that. Let's empower them. I talk about establishing external relations with a law firm legal practice that can provide legal representation for those folks. I talk about that. I also talk about establishing relationship with state legislature, with local state authority. I gave you 3 different steps and things we can do, and you said I did not answer the question. What are you listening to, Mr. Moderator?
Mr. Konya, I would put it like this to you. When the moderator asked a question about gun violence, right, he did give you a hint that is a sensitive issue. It's not an issue you just scream about. It affects the lives of our people. People that don't feel like they're being heard. So when you spoke first, he heard you, but he wants you to address Liberians here and not him in a more empathetic manner.
I apologize on behalf of the Liberian community. I said all of that.
Thank you.
And I said there was no system to address that.
Mr. Conan.
So I'm confused. What's really happening on the team?
We're going to move forward. But again, you are not debating the moderator. I know there are a lot of sentiments running through the system, but you are debating Steve, and you are going to get to the Liberian people. Let's move on.
Mr. Bollietv, can we get some order behind there? Thank you. Next on the list is Madam Patient Zawi. Question?
And number 15?
Me on there.
You did say?
Me on there.
Go ahead, Mama.
So, Mr. President and the incoming, I'm not sure. So, I want to ask you a question. I've been here and everything I hear about our community is dead.
Yes.
But within a Western world where life is changing, how can we make our kids to be better than us? Because you guys are our leader and we look up to you. How can we change the life of our young ones so that we don't wait for death, but we have to get them out of death? And my second question. So,
1 minute.
yes, when you, in case of anything, you lose the election, will you work with the president and bring all your ideas on board, or are you going to sit there and say, because I didn't win, I'm not going to serve my community.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Boley?
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Folks, this is a sensitive, this is a good question. I mean, a very, very good question. The first thing I want to say to Sister Patient is this. We as a community, first thing first, we as a community should be able, and I want to say this, I've seen this in our community, to support one another. But I've seen it in our community where we are able to support one another. Even in our disagreements, we support one another. That's how it starts. The second thing is, we definitely want to get the children, like we stated earlier, we got the children starting off with helping them with their homework. If the man in the park can help them, or if they're not available, we can start it from there. We started small. Thirdly, to your last question that you asked, I want to say this to you, and I want to commit this to the Liberian people. I am committed to the community, win or lose. I am committed fully to working with whoever wins, because you know what? At the end of the day, it's about our community and our people. That the same people will see each other today or tomorrow right after this election. This is why, if you listen to our campaign, we have always called for everybody to honor each other in this process. Let's be respectful to one another, because we will have to work together and we have to live together. So the Liberian people can count on me to definitely support our community. I ain't going nowhere. I'm here, and I will make sure and be part of our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Boley. Mr. Konya?
So amongst the two candidates here, Steve and I, Steve is the only person who, when he did not win the elections with Lester Myers, he attended not more than 5 meetings and he pulled out. He did not support the administration because he claimed that he was cheated. I'm committed to working with Steve's administration if he wins the election. I think the community is bigger than all of us. You know, we can get tough talking. At the end of the day, it boils down to what can we do to advance the community. So you have my word on that. I'm going to be available to work with his administration if he wins the election. The second concern, it's about programs. I do have a couple of programs that I think we can begin to implement that we address some of these issues. I talked about the youth mentorship programs to get youth preoccupied or use existing community resources to do that. I talk about the after school programs so that we can work with these young kids to be able to really help them. Career development, business development programs we can use. We have experts amongst us that we can use to help provide these services to our community.
Thank you, sir. As we wind down, it's getting late. Mr. Josh Lobo, you're next. Can you take 1 minute to ask your question?
Good evening. Real quick, I heard both of you speak of integrity and transparency. Great, because it's important. I just want to ask the current president, and I'll ask the Mr. I don't want to say incoming president.
You have only 1 minute, sir.
You can say that. Okay, Mr. Boley, when you took office, can you inform us if you indeed received a financial statement from the Lester administration, and if it was presented, when and where? But I also want to take a back, Mr. Boley, on this. The board chair just dropped a report in the group chat. And there are a few things, because we're speaking of transparency, I want to bring to your attention. I see that $1,180 some dollars was deposited on the 20th of December in a group account. And I want to ask you as to why was it at that time? Was the fund raised? Because I know the funds were raised during the July 26th. And also, Mr. Boley,
1 minute, sir.
yeah, let me end my statement, please. On the 20th, I also see that there were ATM withdrawing in October from that very same account. How do you reconcile those transactions on there? And Mr. Konen, if you do win, can you assure the public that there will be a comprehensive audit? Because just looking at these numbers, because of time, I can go in there to point out some of the things that I see. Can you guarantee us that?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Mr. Boley?
Well, the question. When President Lester Meyer took over, there was a turnover note. I was not part of the transitional process. I received a turnover note and 2 checks, which amounted to 2,000 and change. I don't remember the exact figure, either 2,400. I received it from, at that time, the board of directors who were in charge of doing the transition. So I did not receive any direct note or anything from Lester Meyer. However, there was a transitional team. Now, coming to the transaction that you spoke about, we paid someone to do the website. Because when we took over, I don't know what happened. We asked for the existing Liberian Association website. We didn't get it. So we decided that we would pay for a website. However, the guy who was doing the website for us started to play delay games. So we decided to retrieve that money from him to make sure it accounts for what's in the balance. And that's why you saw at the very last minute, Liberian made that deposit in order to ensure that the account was current. Because we wouldn't come to the administration and say, we paid 3,000 to somebody to do the website, the person not do the website and drag that story. The people will say we ate their money. So to be clear, we made sure we got the money from the guy and deposit it to ensure that we were current so that the amount that reflects the report was also reflected in the account. Thank you for that question.
Mr. Konya?
Yeah, so the amount in total is $1,287 for a website. What kind of website is that? Yeah, website should not be more than $200-300. That's not a website. So, but let me answer your question about audit. I mean, I think it's fair enough to have an independent appreciation of, how the institution has been managed, over the last 2 years. But here's the catch. Some of us really believe that to be successful, we need to get everybody on board, including our state's administration. And so we want to be a little careful as to how we ask the administration to account, but at the same time wanting their collaboration, because I don't want a case where, like what happened between Steve and Lester. So Lester won, Steve pulled out. I want everybody working together. So I will work with my team and we'll find, a possible way to work around ensuring that the past administration account, but at the same time, ensuring that they understand that this is just fair enough and all can just work together, as one.
Sir, will you audit the past administration in case you win? Yes or no?
Again, I will work with my administration to be able to determine how we can, because the responsibility is not given to the executive. The Constitution talks about audit. It is the board that commission audit, not the executive committee.
Would you request the board to do that as the president if you win?
It depends on the financial report, the administrative report we get from the outgoing leadership. We analyze it, we access it. I'm talking, sorry. We access it, and then at that particular time, we'll make a decision as to whether it's for an audit or not.
Thank you. 30 seconds, Mr. Boley.
Yes. Quickly to the Liberian people. Please, I want this to be clear to you. I am asking for the very first time, Harry, directly, if he ever wins, please audit us. Because we believe in transparency and accountability. And we should be willing to be held accountable. This is the right way to go. And the last part I want to clear out is this. Lester is here for Harry to claim that I pulled out. That is very, very shocking because our own meetings, I was fully available. Now one day Lester ever reached out to me to ask me to work in his administration or to do anything, and I refused.
Thank you, Mr. Boley.
What do you think about the debate?
Oh, it was fine. It was fine.
So
It
now
just
the
did- it
debate is
just did-
over. Who you think in your mind won this debate?
Well, I cannot say it right now, but
I mean, I asked you who you vote for, but you saw the debate.
well, they were saying the same thing, so I don't see
So you think it was a tie?
That was a tie. Yeah, I would say it's a tie.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Okay. I saw you jumping by. What do you think about the debate? Who won the debate? You say who? So the Harris vote. What do you think? Oh, don't worry about it. Who do you think won the debate? I mean, how was the debate? Let's just look at it. How was the debate?
It was good. I like
So,
it.
who do you think won? For your own observation, I said who you voting for? Who do you think won the debate? People can like somebody win the debate, but now vote for them.
Harris.
You think Harris won the debate? Ah, here we go again. Amen. You mean I say TV like I go around and small. Go we will open that. Okay. So we back again. We have to ask questions around here. So gentlemen, I need reactions here. Who you think won this debate? I mean, from your observation.
Hey, I'm a party to one of the things they.
It doesn't matter. You can give your opinion.
So I 100% gives it to my thing, the hurricane.
Oh no, I know who the man. Based on your observation, who you think won?
Okay, let me be transparent.
How was it?
I think it was fine. I think it was intellectual, and I think Harry got a good chance on the debate. I would say he won, but not by one margin.
Thank you.
Today, the debate was all about my president schooling Harry as to how leadership works. Okay, so and that's the reason why we came here today. The man is an educator, so we did not come here to come and argue and put it. We came here to educate the man how administration works. And I'm sure he got the tutelage tonight. And if you can, and I can assure you that on Saturday, there's going to be a very good victory for us. And then I want to take this time to also invite you to the celebration.
I just hope that people will be more honest as to what they've done, because these things, people must not occupy position just to build resumes. It must be with the intention of serving the community. That's what I hope for. I'm glad to see everything that I fought for in this community. Today, every single person in the state of Arizona can say, this was my fight. And to see it manifest itself before my eyes, I'm extremely humble. That's all.
Thank you. So who you think to you now is leading this debate?
As far as I'm concerned, the debate hasn't ended yet, so...
I mean, for the first one you saw.
Listen, there have been some high and low moments. There have been high and low moments, but as far as I'm concerned, I think Harry Ato so far from what I see, it's a lot easier for him than for the incumbent because he has served. So now people are scrutinizing based on what he has done. Harry has not served, so it's a lot easier for Harry. I think he's having some great moments. And let's see how the debate progresses from here.
Thank you. That was the voice of Mr. George Lobo. We will move on here. We're still getting people reactions. And as we get reactions, I have my brother, Mr. Sekou Kane. You've been watching this debate. SKTV for a fact. So, Mr. Kane, ask me. So far, you've been here. I saw you here. What do you think about the debate so far?
I think it's very good. I'm enjoying it. It's good.
Yeah, it's competitive. So, after the first round, what do you think? Who do you think is...
I'm not sure if the debate will change any mind. I believe Liberian politics, whether national, local, or community politics, Liberians come into politics with three mindsets. The debate not going to change any mind. People are going to support it, not support it, not going to support it.
So let me ask you. So for your own observation here, who do you think, I know there are a bunch of ups and downs in the debate, who do you think is leading this debate now in the first one? You think you're talking about?
I reserve comment on that.
Thank you for your comment. We hear.
We should tell the people. Here you go.
So when I'm interviewing my brother here, you watch the debate so far. What's your observation? Come on, let's say. I'm talking to you next, brother. Let me finish. So what do you think about this debate so far?
From what I've seen so far, right?
Yeah.
Both of them are confused.
So you think none of them winning the debate so far?
As for my observation from me coming late, no.
Okay, thank you. That's pretty.
Nobody's answering direct questions.
So my brother, I see you getting heat there. For your observation,
kind of mad and frustrated about the entire association. First of all, my name is Alpha.
Thank you.
It's very unfortunate that Liberians will stay always to brag about education and position that they don't even qualify for. It's unfortunate that a person will serve as secretary for the board of directors will be in this association. A secretary general cannot consult a 50 resignation letter.
Mr. BOLEY TV. But then again, Mr. President, how do you think you did in this debate? How do you think you did in this debate?
Well, the truth about it is the contract was drew. I was discussing the issue from our team while our counterpart was attacking and not staying with the issue, not even answering questions. But at the end of the day, the Liberian people will make the final decision.
So let me ask you my follow-up question before I go to your VP.
Yes.
You think from your performance here today, you will win on Saturday because I'll be here on Saturday again?
Well, the issue of winning lies in the...
Because you guys are here today to convince the people.
Yes, the issue of winning, we made a case, we drew the contract.
So you think you convince enough people to vote you on Saturday?
So for the Liberian people to vote for us to go to the second.
Thank you, Mr. President. It was a great debate. Well, I haven't talked to Mr. Kennedy.
Yes, sir.
Based on your performance today, do you think you are convinced enough people to win this election come Saturday?
I believe in the Liberian people. I believe in the community. I think the focus is what's best for the community. And I think I demonstrated here that I have what it takes to lead my community. And so I'm just asking them for the opportunity.
So you are convinced that what your performance today can get you the seat come on Saturday?
I believe they will vote their consciences. I believe they will go behind the ballot paper.
So you say everything here today, you convince them?
I believe in my people I want to lead. So I think I have convinced them enough, and they will make that ultimate decision to vote us in as president of the association.
Thank you. You can see the debate just over. I have to walk out of here. The car still parked here. It was a very fruitful debate. And it was interesting. So we can't say nothing much. No, but two of my little brothers, my little beginners, Steve BOLEY and Mr. Harry, had a wonderful debate. And as a big brother, I can't really tell you who I'm going to vote for yet. But I will do my best. Mr. BOLEY TV.